Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Yeah, what's the origin of the information in the genome?
Yeah, like genetic drift, which is not a Darwinian
No,
mechanism.
no, 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 no. That is a related aspect. What is the origin of the sequential information which is in the genome? What is the mechanism that produces the arrangement?
The DNA polymerase and replicating the genome?
No, no. What is the fundamental mechanism that will produce the gargantuan information system in the double helix?
Yeah. You're asking what? It's the DNA polymerase.
Yeah. Do you want?
That's what
No, you're not understanding. Do you understand evolution?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What is the mechanism that produces the information that will produce the genome that produces the phenotype? Produces
I mean, it's going to
the information.
It's going to be dependent on your scenario, right? Like if, for example, like
No, there's no,
I don't know,
sir.
if for example,
There's a clear and direct answer
I would love
from
to give an
evolutionary
example.
websites. You're not giving the correct answer.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but you're cutting me off. So in some
No,
mechanism,
because you're filibustering. What is the
right?
mechanism that produces the information in the genome?
So I mean, we can talk about like replication of genes, but
No,
we can also
okay.
talk about mechanisms of evolution.
Copying information
Your question.
is not producing the information. What is the origin of the information?
The DNA is the information. So
Okay,
mitosis.
you're not answering. Listen, I'm not trying to
information.
jerk you around. I know what I'm talking about. What you're
So,
talking
Darth
about,
Dawkins,
you are. Please mute this person,
bro.
Foxy.
Yeah.
Mute
Please
him. Mute him.
you.
Mute
So
him.
you
Mute
so
him.
you
Mute
you
him.
muted me.
Mute him.
You muted
Foxy, mute
me
him.
in your
Foxy, mute
fucking you
him.
muted me.
Foxy, mute.
You muted
Foxy,
me
mute this
in
person.
your
Are you
fucking
here,
chat.
Foxy?
Yeah.
Okay, Foxy, are you mute? I'll just turn you down, and then I won't hear you. Okay, so you can go pound sand, sir. What is the mechanism that produces
Sorry.
Yeah, what is the mechanism that produces the information that results in the genome?
So okay, so there's a few different ways I could answer this question. One of them would be like, for example, natural selection. Natural selection would select
Stop.
for genes
You
in the
don't know what you're
genome.
talking about. You
Right.
don't
Right,
stop.
but your
Stop.
question is so
Stop.
narrowly
Stop.
framed that you seem
Stop.
to want one
Stop.
answer, and
Stop.
this is a
Stop.
multi-response question.
Stop. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? You're just repeating like a parrot what you've been taught. There's a very simple answer that you can go to any major evolutionary site where they explain the idea of the mechanism that produces the genome over deep time. What is that mechanism?
So natural selection is the driving force of evolution from
you're not. Stop. Natural selection is only preservative. It is not creative. Now, what is the mechanism? Listen carefully, Sunshine. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, what is the mechanism? Okay, you can go to berkeley.edu and their site on evolution. It's a very simple answer. Okay, it's so simple that a fifth grader can answer. What is the mechanism that produces the genome? I'm not talking about what preserves it.
Selection.
No. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're talking about.
Screaming?
Natural selection. Listen to me. I am okay, but you're repeating the same thing again. Natural selection is
Why don't you just tell me what
preservative.
you think the answer is?
Listen carefully, okay? Natural selection.
Is the answer God?
Hold on, I got to switch my headset. My headset went out. Hold on.
Neo, man, it'd probably be good if you try to listen to what Darth's saying to you instead of just over-talking him in the middle of his sentences.
He just keeps on asking me the same question that I'm answering.
Yeah, because you're not answering it.
Natural selection. Okay, mute these people. If anyone is heckling, mute them. Okay. Now, natural selection. Natural selection is commensurate with the Darwinian theory or the neo-Darwinian synthesis, but natural selection is also consistent and commensurate with intelligent design and creationism. Natural selection only talks about the survival of the fittest. Now, what produces the arrival of the fittest in terms of the genome? Okay, what is the mechanism that produces the information that is the genome? I'm not asking what is the mechanism that preserves it. What is the mechanism that creates the information that constitutes the double helix?
Okay, so that question is, I guess you could answer it with like mitosis, right? Because when you have cells that replicate, they take the original DNA and then they
No.
Oh my
Stop.
goodness.
Again, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just giving me general
why don't
answers
you
in
answer the
biology.
question
Okay,
because
do
you
you
don't seem
see?
to know the answer.
No, I'll be
Why don't
glad to
you answer
answer
the
it
question?
momentarily, but I just want to show you don't know what you're talking about. And the answer is so simple. Okay, even a child
Is it
who
God?
studies evolution. Now, no, I'm
Well,
talking
what is
about the
it?
theory of it.
Well,
Okay, listen,
stop
if,
translating and
if,
answer the fucking question then.
listen, if you're rude to me again, you're going to be server muted. Do you understand?
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
If you're gonna
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. You're done. Okay, I asked you over and over again, what is the mechanism that is detailed at evolutionary websites as to what produces the genome, not what preserves it in a step-by-step fashion. That's natural selection. Natural selection deals with the survival of the fittest, not the arrival of the fittest. And you don't even know the answer. And I'm going to give you another chance. You can unmute him. But if he acts out again, server mute his dumb mouth. Okay? Now, what is the you've had plenty of time to Google this. What is the mechanism that produces the genome, which will then survive in a step-by-step fashion? What is the mechanism that produces the
you mean step
information?
you mean stepwise, but that's fine. I suppose you mean mutation then?
Oh, he
He doesn't
finally
know his own
stumbled
theory.
upon it. He finally stumbles upon it. You see how easy that was? Now, do you believe that random mutations are what incrementally built the genome of the animal kingdom?
Sometimes, but sometimes not. Sometimes it's genetic drift.
No,
Sometimes
no,
it's
no, no, no.
environmental
This,
factors.
no. This is
Sometimes
peripheral, sir.
there's
You're
genome
not getting this.
variation.
Listen, I know all this stuff. Okay, this is peripheral stuff. Okay, in order to have a universal common ancestry, okay, where you start from the least complex forms of life to go through the tree of life to all the higher forms of life, you need a step-by-step increase in genetic information. Now, granted, I understand about the nature of genetic drift, speciation, and things like that. Now, do you believe that if I told you that in a massive universe that the likelihood of mutations being able to build the genome of the animal kingdom, why would you believe it when it is vanishingly small? What's your
Oh, I
reaction
know
to that?
this. I know this talking point because the implication that you're making when you say those huge numbers with shock value is that because for one, evolution doesn't have any target. It's just selecting for, like greater
You're not
reproductive
responding to my
viability.
question. You're
I am
not
trying to respond to
responding.
your question.
No, you're not.
It's a
No,
longer
no,
than one sentence question to
no,
answer.
no, no, no,
I
no,
need more
no.
than
Again,
one sentence
you're
to answer
not
your
as
question.
smart as you think you are. You're
You
not as
mongoloid.
smart as you think you are. Now, I asked you a
Yeah.
question.
I
You
need
did
one
not.
more
Okay,
sentence.
if you overtalk me, you're going to
Darth,
get
I
server
need
muted.
another sentence, and you're over talking.
Last warning. You're not addressing my question. You're talking past it.
I'm
You're just
trying
repeating
to.
pre-memorized stuff. Now, I said to you, the
Oh my
likelihood of
god.
mutations building the genome is. Have you ever heard the phrase "vanishingly small"? Do you have any idea how small that is?
Yeah, but you're doing the math wrong, though. That's the
Do you
problem,
believe? Hold on a second.
right?
Hold on a second. I'm going to ask you a
Most
question.
mutations
Okay.
are not effective.
Listen to me. This is why I despise talking with young males on Discord because they're impulsive and they're ignorant like you are.
You're the one who
Now,
can't stop
okay,
talking, dude. What do you mean?
listen to me. That's because I know what I'm talking about, and you do not.
You clearly don't,
Now,
because you can't
listen
even answer a
carefully.
question because
Listen,
you're scared.
you're just bickering with me. You are just continuing to
I'm
bicker
trying
with
to answer
me
your question,
like
but
the
you won't
little
stop talking.
teenage male that you are. Okay, now, that's because I know what I'm talking about. If you continue to bicker with me, you're going to be out of the conversation. I'm getting
This
to a
isn't a
point.
conversation. This is you
Hey,
talking at
sir,
me.
listen to me. Listen to me.
This is how you operate. This is how you can
Cross
only
talk me one
operate.
more time. Do it
This
one
is
more
the
time,
only
and
way
you
that
can.
you can
Okay,
operate.
server mute him. Server mute him. He's done. He's out. Okay. See, I just pointed out to him that the random mutations in a massive universe, the likelihood of this happening is vanishingly small. Okay. To say something is vanishingly small, it is the greatest improbability that anybody could even hope to conceive of. So he believes the mutations built the entire genome, okay, over 14 billion years in a big universe, in spite of the fact that it would be vanishingly small to occur. But he objected to it being vanishingly small. Did everybody hear him object to that? Right? Can I have some confirmation here? Did he not object when I said that random mutations building the genome was vanishingly small? Did he not tell me that I didn't understand evolution? Can I have
He
some
did not
feedback?
know. He did do that. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, now, hold on a second. Hold on. Now, did he not object to my characterization that random mutations building the genome was vanishingly small? Did he not object to that? Okay.
I mean, I thought someone else was going to go, but yeah, I definitely heard him
Oh, you
objecting
heard
to
that.
that.
Did anybody else hear him object, telling me I didn't understand it when I quantified mutations building the entire genome as vanishingly small? He objected and said I didn't understand. Okay? Now, let's get him back on microphone.
He did, but
Okay?
eventually, what he did was he eventually.
No, I want to ask him a simple question. Okay? Now, unmute his microphone. Now, Mr. Evolution Expert, is evolution happening by random mutations over 14 billion years, okay, in a grand universe? Is the
That is one of the
likelihood,
mechanisms, yes.
okay, listen to me carefully. Stop over talking me. Stop
I
being an
answered your
impulsive little
question.
teenager. Okay, listen to me. You see, you get unmuted and you still can't control your mouth. You
I
see,
answered your question.
I don't take nonsense for teenage little boys on the internet because I'm 3 times your age.
Alrighty.
Now, I'm going to ask you again. Do you accept or do you reject that random mutations is what built the genome over 14 billion years and that the likelihood of that occurring is vanishingly small? Do you accept or reject that?
I accept.
I would need you to quantify more specifically what you
When I
mean
say
by
vanishing,
vanishingly.
okay,
Hold on.
vanishingly
Let me answer
small
your
is,
question. Stop being
let me,
impulsive. Stop
okay,
being
all right, you know
impulsive.
what?
Let me
You
answer
know what?
your question.
Mute him. You're
Let me
done.
answer your
You are
question.
done. You're done. You're done. Okay. You see, they can't even show respect for somebody who's old enough to be their father or grandfather. They have to be. They got to pretend like they're little assholes talking with other teenagers at the cafeteria table because they think they're so damn smart. Okay. I asked him a simple question. Okay. He knows damn well what I mean by vanishingly small. I qualified it, that it's so astronomically improbable and remote that in order to even conceive of it, we have to say it's vanishingly small. Okay? It's at the point of almost vanishing. That's how small the chance is. Okay? Now, I asked him if he accepted it or rejected it. Well, because I'm giving him a true dichotomy, he doesn't want to answer it, because he's afraid what's coming. So he goes, oh, I need you to qualify what is meant by vanishingly small. I already qualified it. Okay? Now, we'll try it one more time and see if this little punk can control his mouth. You can unmute him. If he acts up again, mute him and don't take him off mute. I'm asking you a question. Is random mutations being the source of building the genome, in addition to natural selection, is the likelihood of it vanishingly small, meaning the improbability is so small, it's about nearly vanishing? Do you accept or reject that?
Am I good? Hello?
Do you accept or reject that?
Okay. Yeah, I accept that for any one base pair, the
No,
odds are
no,
about
no,
point
no. That's
0.5
not what
times
we're
10 to
talking
the
about. Stop.
to the next. Hold on.
Stop.
I'm trying to be civil.
Stop. 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 You
I'm
can't
trying to be
control
civil.
yourself.
Not,
Stop. Stop. You can't control yourself, can you? We're talking about the entire genome of the
yeah,
entire animal
for
kingdom.
the
Do you accept that it is so improbable it's at the point of where it's almost vanishingly small in terms of disappearing? Do you accept that?
no, I wouldn't accept that, and this is why.
Okay,
Because
now
the
stop,
hold on.
stop,
Let me clarify
stop,
why. Let me
stop.
clarify.
I don't need you to explain why. All I wanted you to was to confirm what you said before. You just confirmed that you reject the notion that
Yes,
random
I
mutations. Okay, now, okay, listen. I'll be glad to let you speak, but do not crosstalk me. Now, you just made yourself very clear that random mutations aided by natural selection and other processes, that random mutations, in terms of its statistical improbability, I stated that it's so improbable that the only way to really express it is that it's vanishingly small, and you rejected that, right? Well, guess
yes,
what?
and I can
Yeah,
tell you
guess what?
why.
Hey, you don't have to tell me
You're
why.
saying, when are you going to allow me
You
to speak,
listen,
bud? When are
listen
you
to
going to
me,
do it?
listen to me. I laid a trap for you, and you didn't see it coming. Would you like to
But
know what
let
the
me
trap
explain
is?
why, and it's not
No,
a
no,
trap
you
at all.
don't. No, you don't need to explain why, because I'm going to show you something
Because you're
to
not
your great.
interested in a discussion.
Okay,
That's
no,
why.
you see, you are grotesquely immature. You
It's
cannot control your mouth.
impossible.
You will not even listen to possibly learn. Now, I laid a trap for you. Okay, and you didn't know that the trap was coming. Now, you rejected that random mutations over 14 billion years producing the genome along with additional processes, which I'm not disputing. I stated that it's so astronomically remote, the only way to quantify it humanly would be vanishingly small, and you said that's wrong. Okay, now, I didn't come up with this idea. Do you know who did say that it's vanishingly small? Would you like to know who said that?
I don't care. I'm explaining to you
Okay.
why I
So it
disagree.
doesn't. So if one of the world's greatest experts on evolution and microbiology, who is a renowned scholar,
Oh my god, this fucking guy.
his scholarly citations are so off the chart, few people have as many scholarly citations of his work. Okay. Now, here's the bombshell for you. To
Not
your
that
great
fucking guy.
embarrassment, Dr. Eugene Koonin
Oh
is one of
god.
the few. Oh, so you don't want to hear it, do you? Okay. See, I laid a trap for you and you fell for it. Okay. Dr. Eugene Koonin is one of the world's great experts on evolution and microbiology. Okay. And he has a book out where he defends the theory of evolution. Okay. His expertise just doesn't lie in microbiology. It lies in microbiology and how it relates to evolution. Dr. Eugene Koonin, you can look him up. Okay, I believe his last name is spelled Koonin. Dr. Eugene Koonin. Dr. Eugene Koonin has a book on evolution called The Logic of Chance. Okay, so much of it is technical, it's very difficult to understand unless you have expertise in microbiology. But there's a lot that non experts can understand. At the end of his book, he states more than once that evolution happening by random mutations et al. In a one-off large universe is vanishingly small. Now, can you tell
You're
me
qualifying me.
why? Can you? Okay, how do you know that?
Yeah, because this is probably talking about vanishingly small in the context of other driving.
No.
Hold
Would
on,
you
but
like me to tell
hold
you
on, but
why?
hold on,
No,
but
no.
hold on,
Are you
because
accusing me?
everything I
Are
said
you
agreed with you
accusing
so
me?
far.
Are you
Everything I
accusing
said agreed with you so
Are
far,
you
bud.
accusing
Gotta let
me?
me
Are
talk
you
sometime, man.
accusing
You
me?
said you would let
No,
me speak. You're not a
you're going to
liar.
get server muted.
Nope.
You're going to get server muted. Okay? If you don't want to be server muted, you need to stop being rambunctious. Now, you accuse me of quote mining. Now, do you know, in fact, that I quote mined, or is that an ad hoc rescue?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know. In fact,
Okay,
that you're
stop
quote
right there.
mining, but I
Stop
do.
right there.
Hold
So
on, hold on.
no.
Can I
Stop.
answer any?
Last warning. Stop, or you're getting server muted and you won't go back on again. You
You said 3 warnings. That was nothing.
you slandered me. You slandered me and said I was quote mining. I said, "Do you know that I did that?" Now you know. You are guessing that I quote mined, aren't you?
Yeah, because usually
Okay,
you
good,
disagree with
good.
evolution. You are a
You know what?
younger
You know what?
creationist,
Then guess
and
what?
he agrees with evolution.
Guess what? Okay, listen. I'm warning you. This is the last time I'm going to say it. I
Oh, I
shouldn't
thought
say it
3
again. You
last
should
times
be
ago
muted.
was it?
Okay, you know what? Goodbye. Mute him. You're done. You're not going back on. Okay? This dumbass, when I cited one of the world's greatest experts in microbiology and evolution, who is a staunch defender of evolution, states that mutations at all, meaning other mechanisms, but mutations being in the forefront, building the genome, aided by natural selection over 14 billion years, okay, he says it's vanishingly small. Then this little turd for a brain slanders me and says I'm quote mining. When I asked him, does he know that I quote mining? He said it was just a guess. So, in other words, his accusation that it's a quote mine is an ad hoc rescue. He doesn't know that I'm quote mining, right? But he's accusing me of quote mining when he doesn't know that I'm quote mining. Do you see what a little deceptive little boy he is? Now, to prove to you that I'm not quote mining, you can find his book floating around on the internet. You download his book and then type into the PDF reader, into the search bar, type in vanishingly small, or just type in vanishingly. It will come up several times in the back of the book, right? Or near the end of the book, okay? You can see for yourself that I'm not quote mining. And the proof that you're a dumbass and that you decided to falsely accuse me, right? So that you could save face is Dr. Eugene Koonin says, in spite of it being that vanishingly small, in a many worlds in one hypothesis, which is a megaverse, then in spite of it being vanishingly small, the many worlds in one would guarantee that at least one universe out of a gazillion universes, it would accidentally happen. The point is this little punk who thinks he's educated in evolution, he's educated about the crap that he's fed him where he can regurgitate it. But you see, he thinks that when I said that it was vanishingly small, it was bunk. But then when I quoted one of the world's foremost experts on microbiology and evolution, who says it's vanishingly small within a one-off universe, and in order to evade that disastrous situation, he appeals to a bazillion universes to circumvent this problem. But you see, this little punk accuses me of quote mining, right? And then when I ask him, "Do you know I'm quote mining?" And he goes, "No, he's guessing." Suppose I guess and I say, "Oh, well, you know what? I'd say, I'll guess that you're a I'll guess that you're a bank robber. I'm just guessing, right? If we're justified in hurling accusations and they're just guesses, right? No, the reason why he immediately went to a knee-jerk reaction that I was quote mining is because he didn't want to face the embarrassment of contradicting one of the world's greatest experts on microbiology and evolution. Oops. Yeah. What was the name of the young skull full of mush who accused me of quote mining? Did anybody catch his name?
Neon something, I think. It's
It was
Neon
Neon.
Globe. Yeah, Neon
Okay.
Globe.
Yeah.
It was
So don't you
Neo
love
who
it?
was accusing you of quote mining.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but in this case, I'll club the horse. Okay. The fact of the matter is, he accused me of quote mining, not because he knew that I did, but because he was trying to invoke an ad hoc rescue to save his embarrassment that he contradicted one of the foremost authorities on microbiology and evolution. Now, hey, Neon Globe, go download a copy of Dr. Eugene Koonen's book. In a PDF reader, look up where he says vanishingly small. He says it several times. And you come back here, Mr. Smarty Pants, and you show me how I quote minded him. Yeah, go show it to me, bud. I look forward to that. But you know what? You claim that you're in pursuit of science and knowledge and truth, but because you want to preserve your little mythical story of evolution, right? And I bring a devastating line of reasoning that you were not even aware of, that even one of the greatest exponents of evolution acknowledges, and then you decide to slime me when I quote one of the world's foremost experts on this, and the only way for you to get it, you're quote mining. You quote mine. Can you unmute Neon? I want to ask him a quick question. So he should keep his mouth shut if he wants to be safe from embarrassment. But let's give it a try. Neon, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Real simple. I don't need a
Railroad
college
combo
lecture.
again.
Just a simple question. Do you believe that God is ultimate?
No, I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Ultimate means that which is unconditionally non-dependent, from which all other things derive and depend. So I take it. Okay. So the answer is, in your view, God is not ultimate. Is that correct?
Well, I don't believe that God can be anything because I don't know that
No.
God exists.
Okay, no. You know, I told you I don't need a mini lecture here. All I need is no. I don't.
That was it. That was the only sentence
Okay,
I needed.
now. Can you tell me what is ultimate?
I wouldn't have any way of knowing what is ultimate.
Did everybody hear that?
I don't pretend to know that like you do.
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, I don't pretend to know
Okay, guess
what is
what?
ultimate like you do.
Please don't crosstalk me, or you will be server muted again.
I
Now,
was answering your question, bud.
I said please don't crosstalk me while I'm talking because I'm not done yet. Okay. Now, did everybody hear what he just said?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, could somebody else repeat back to me, just so it's clear to everybody in the room, what he just said? When I asked him, what is it ultimate? What did he say?
Said he'd have no way of knowing.
He said, "I don't
Did everybody
know."
hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes
Did
perfect
everybody
sense
hear
to
that?
me.
Okay. Right. Okay. Excellent. Guess what? I laid another trap for him because he didn't see it coming. I'm going to read to you notes that I wrote on him from the past. Let me pull it up. Neon, do you recall having a conversation with me February 5th, 2022?
Over a year ago? Seriously?
Yeah,
Dude?
no. Do you remember
Over a
when
year ago?
do you remember,
A year and a half ago?
right. Okay, good. So you don't remember. That's okay. I remember because I took notes. Because I
Well,
take
you don't
notes on
remember.
people that I talk to.
That's why you're referencing the notes, but that's fine.
That's right. I'm refreshing your memory. Now, hey, guess what, Smirky boy? You're about to be royally embarrassed when I tell everybody in the room what I wrote down. I asked you in February 5th in 2022, what was ultimate? Do you recall what was the first thing out of your mouth?
Did you define ultimate in the same way?
Yes, I did. Do you
No,
remember what you said to me?
I don't remember what I said in a random conversation of February
Okay.
of last year.
And what did you say to me now that you have no idea what could be ultimate? Remember that? Did you just say that?
Yeah, if by ultimate you mean non-causal, then yeah, I don't know.
Okay. He says he has no way of knowing that. Now, in February 5th, 2022, he directly stated to me that what was ultimate were laws of nature.
Wow.
Wow.
But you see today, he's saying, I have no idea. How could I know? But in February 5th of 2022, you told me it was laws of nature. Does that ring a bell?
No, I don't
That
know.
that's what I wrote it down when you said it, because I knew that when you showed up on some later date, if I wrote it down, then I would remember what you said. But guess what? It gets better. Okay? You change your tune throughout the interaction, and that you
Is
abandon
this
laws.
really the best you can do?
Okay,
Is this
mute
like you don't want to
this,
actually have a conversation? You just want to
mute
read
him,
random
mute him. Thank you. Okay.
He's throwing out the roadblocks.
Now,
He's like, stop,
no,
please stop talking about
yeah,
me.
yeah. So what
Fucking
I'm doing is
pathetic.
I'm exposing
La
this
la 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 la.
Can we mute the hecklers, please? You see, they hate that the Christians are winning, but I'm
I
not
don't
done
know
yet.
what the names
Okay.
are, Darth.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're winning.
Okay. Well, just look on your screen on the list of names and see whose name lights up. Okay.
I'm
Now,
doing that. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
so today, Mr. Braggadocia, Mr. Big Man on campus, who got owned, contradicting Dr. Eugene Koonin, then he said today he has no possible way of knowing what is ultimate, but in February of 2022, he categorically stated that it was laws of nature. He was emphatic about it, so much so that I wrote it down in his account. Then when I began asking him questions, he realized that this would not work because of the question I was asking him. Then he abandoned his bold assertion that laws of nature are ultimate. And then, you know what he then said after that? He said that quantum energy was what ultimate. Isn't that amazing how
Yeah,
he
it
went
seems
from
like
laws of nature then to
it seems
quantum
like the
energy,
common
and today he has no idea what could be ultimate?
it seems like the common thread between those things would be
It
like
sounds like
a
he's
cause and
found
effect
humility.
relationship. Yeah, it seems like a cause and effect relationship would be like the common thread between those things. So, for example, like, all atoms are made up of elementary particles, which, don't seem to be made up of any further constituent parts and are therefore non-composite. So I mean, it's ultimate in the sense that like there's nothing that causes the result of those elementary particles to
Neon,
be
neon,
anything other than
neon,
themselves.
neon, 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 neon.
Oh, in that sense, it's
If
ultimate,
you
but I mean,
Neon, no, Neon, you're bullshitting right now, and everybody in the room knows you're bullshitting because you're trying to save face. You just told me right now, and I had somebody repeat it back. I said, "What is ultimate?" And you said, "There's no way of knowing." But in February of 2022, you knew
sure,
it was
you've already
laws of
said this. You don't
nature.
need to
But
repeat
then,
it.
well, I'm going to repeat it in order
Okay,
to
he's gonna
sweep
grandstand.
away your bullshit. It's not grandstanding. I'm
It is
trying to
grandstanding by
humiliate you.
definition.
I'm trying to humiliate you so
Yeah, by
your
repeating
pride
what you
goes down.
said,
Okay, you
grandstanding.
see, this is what you little teenage assholes do. Okay, okay, you will not take correction. You see, then you said laws of nature, but then when I started to question you on it, you realized that this wouldn't work upon the question. So then you went, oh, quantum energy, right? So how did you go from certitude that quantum energy was ultimate to now you say there's no way that you could know? How could you know then that quantum energy was ultimate, but now there's no way for you to know? Can you explain that?
Because I don't know that elementary particles are in fact non-causal, but I do know that they make up basically
No,
everything we know.
you're not
And in
answering
that
my
sense,
question. No,
in
you're
that
talking
sense,
past my question.
in
You're
that sense,
filibustering now.
yeah,
You're not
I'm
answering my
trying
question.
to.
You're not
I need
answering it.
more
That's
than
why I'm
a
interjecting.
sentence to answer your
No, no,
question.
no, no. Stop. Listen,
Wait,
I
can I
wasn't
appeal to
born
the mods in
yesterday.
here?
No,
Wait, mods, can I
you
do
are
more than
not
one
answering
sentence?
my question. Listen carefully. You are filibustering right now. You are not addressing my question. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm trying to. I
okay,
need more than a
no,
sentence.
you're not. No, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm 62 years old. I'm not a fifth grader that you can bamboozle by filibustering. You are
Yeah,
not
not all of
addressing
us.
my
I need more than
question.
one.
Listen to me carefully. Do you have any self-control at all as a young man, or are you just an impulsive 15-year-old?
Yes, I have self-control. I just need more than
Good.
one
Then
sentence to answer your
demonstrate it.
question.
Then demonstrate it.
So I
Now,
need.
now,
So
now I'm
needing more
going
than
to
one.
listen. Yeah, I'm just going to keep on talking until you shut up. Now, you stated today there's no way that you could possibly know this. So if there's no way that you could possibly know it, then how did you know it in February 5th of 2022 that quantum energy was ultimate? How did you know that?
Well, ultimate is like the furthest back thing that you can get before you can't really find a cause anymore.
No, that's not
And
what
I
we were
can't.
talking
Hold
about.
on, hold on,
No,
but hold on, hold on. Can I
stop.
can I
You're
get
lying
can I get
now.
longer
You're
in
going
a
to get
sentence,
server muted.
please?
You're going to get server muted. You're going to get server muted because now you're lying. That's not what we were discussing in February 5th of 2022. You were not talking about what physicists think is bottom basic to the world of
I thought
physicality.
he
That's
said he
not what
didn't
we're
remember
talking
that
about.
conversation.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? That's right. Now he remembers, but he didn't remember the conversation. Now, listen carefully. I didn't ask you what was the bottom substrate of the world of physicality. I didn't ask you that in February 5th of 2022. I asked you what is ultimate that dictates everything. Okay? Not what was the bottom substrate of physicality. Okay? And you were first emphatic that it was laws of nature, but then when I began to ask you, are some laws of nature emergent from other laws of nature? And then, oops, the light went on your head going, wow, I just shot myself in the foot. So then you did a Hail Mary pass by asserting quantum energy was ultimate. You weren't saying, I wrote it down in my notes so I wouldn't forget. You weren't saying that quantum energy is what is the bottom substrate of physicality. The question was, what is it that's ultimate that dictates everything? Okay? And you said quantum energy. But today you say, not only do you not know, there's no way of knowing. But you knew in February 5th of 2022 what was ultimate. How did you go from knowing with certitude that quantum energy not only was ultimate, it falsified God? But now
I
you
want
have
to know
no
what
way
this
of
quantum
knowing.
energy is.
You hungry, buddy?
I want to know what
Well,
this quantum energy is.
Okay.
This is way wrong.
Now,
If he's
now,
appealing
now,
to
you
quote
know,
quantum energy, he's wrong.
okay, well, hold on a second. See, this is the problem when we Christians dialogue and debate young males, even older males, but more specifically young males on Discord, is they not only have a penchant for lying and saying things that they know they can't support. Okay, they do it
unlike
with
young Earth
abandonment.
creationists, which
Okay,
never
okay,
say things they
uh,
can't
uh,
support.
okay, and who's challenging me?
Yeah, I'm challenging you. You're a young Earth
Who?
creationist. You can't
Who?
support the notion of a
Who?
young Earth.
Who?
It's the same clown
Me,
neon.
Neon.
Oh, it's the end.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I can't. I can't. How do you know I can't?
because the Earth is obviously older than 6,000 years. We have trees
Oh,
that are
okay.
older than Noah's flood.
Okay. Stop right there. Stop right there. How do you know trees are older than Noah's flood? And by the way, do
The
you remember how Okay, hold on a second. Do you
okay, I
remember
can't
how
answer
I?
that
Okay,
question.
listen. I will in a second.
Okay,
Do you remember?
just
Okay.
gonna
Do you remember
grandstand.
when? Okay. Listen. Do you want to be permanently server muted? I've already asked for you to be unmuted several times. I mean, if you don't stop being a
You
little
already asked me a
shithead,
question. I'm trying to answer
if
it,
you
but like you
okay,
won't let
listen,
me.
last chance. If you don't stop being a little shithead, you're going to be muted from here on
Why are you
out.
so
Okay?
mad?
I'm not mad. I'm being assertive because I'm old enough to be your
I'm
grandfather,
just trying to. I
dipwad.
don't care. I don't
Okay,
care how old you
goodbye.
are.
Mute him. He's done. He's done. He's done. Okay. This is the problem. The problem isn't that they're brainwashed in this crap. Okay? Because it's so prevalent. The problem is they are so afflicted with pride, they're unwilling to have a civil interaction. Okay? This is the problem, the pride. Now, he said that the earth is obviously older. Okay? Right? So, watch this. Unmute him. Tell me how you know how old the earth is. How do you know how old the Earth is? I can't wait for this. And remember, I'm setting another trap for you. Tell me how
So
old the
what
Earth
I
is.
said specifically was that we know that the Earth is older than 6,000 years because we have trees that are we have trees that are
Okay.
older than Noah's flood, so that doesn't really map
Okay.
into
Let's
your
have a
timeline.
conversation here.
And
Let's have a
two,
conversation
and
here.
yeah,
You're not going
we
to
have
hold
to.
on a second. Hold on a second. We're going to have a conversation here. You're not going to give me a community college lecture. You're going to show some respect for me, and we're going to have a conversation here. Okay? Now,
Yeah,
how
I would
do
like to
you
answer your
know?
question,
Okay,
but that's
sir,
not really a
listen to me.
conversation.
You're going to get server muted again. Now,
I'm well aware.
explain to me, instead of giving me lectures, explain to me,
Right.
how do you know? And remember, I'm telling you in advance that I'm setting a trap for you. Tell me how you know how old the trees are older than 6,000 years. Go ahead, tell me.
Because we have tree rings that we can study in the inside of
Mm-hmm,
trees,
mm-hmm.
but
Good. Now,
hold on, but sometimes there are periods of time, like during a year, when a tree will actually get more than one ring, but this can be corroborated with other trees in the area by taking core samples and denoting the number of rings in those trees as well, right?
okay,
We
are
have
you,
trees that are definitively older than Noah's flood is supposed to be.
no. That's a claim that you can't support. Now, let me ask you
Oh,
this
sure.
question.
So if I support
Okay,
that claim, then
hold on a
you'll
second.
reject Noah's flood?
Mr.
Wait, so if I
Mr.
support that
Know-it-all.
claim,
Mr.
so if I
Know-it-all.
support
You
that claim,
can't
you'll support
control
Noah's flood?
yourself. You can't control yourself, can you?
I'm just trying to have a
All right, listen,
conversation.
you know what? I have asked them to unmute you a number of times. You just can't conduct yourself. Are you a teenager? Are you a teenager?
No, Darth, I'm 24, dude. You've asked me this before.
Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't taken notes on that.
You need to stop acting like a fucking 14-year-old. Now, are you using uniformitarianism as a filter in order to conclude the age of the trees?
What?
Do you know what uniformitarianism is?
No, I don't. I don't know what you mean by that.
Because you see, you're going to be educated today, Mister Knows It All. Okay, excuse me, I'm tired. Uniformitarianism is an ideological belief that cannot be grounded by empirical endeavors, that is used as a filter to interpret certain sense datum such as uh, uh, geological layers or tree rings. Uniformitarianism is not scientifically provable, okay, or confirmable, right? That the key to the past is the present. That in order to understand things that we examine, that the things that we examine were formed in the same processes and rates that they are now back then. That's called uniformitarianism. Okay? Now, so do you understand how you unwittingly have been educated into uniformitarianism? Okay? Now, is uniformitarianism
This
as an
has absolutely
ideological
nothing to do with the
filter?
claim, doesn't it?
Is uniformitarianism as an ideological filter scientifically verifiable?
Okay, so you're trying to shoehorn me into uniformitarianism, and then you're trying to
Answer the
like
question.
get this
No,
question
sir, do you
uniformitarianism.
understand? Do you
I'm not
understand the
interested
whole
in being
field,
railroaded into
the
a.
whole fam? Okay, mute him. He's done. No, what he's doing now is he's deploying the bickering strategy to get out of being questioned because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, first
If
of
you
all,
believe in the evolution of the trees over vast periods of time, you have
yeah,
to conform to
yeah,
uniformitarianism.
you
And then he
have
just
to,
tried to deny
yeah,
it.
yeah. So the fact of the matter is this: we don't know how many tree rings grew in a year in the past. We know, relatively speaking, how tree rings grow now, but to assume that tree rings only grow one a year and sometimes oddly two a year. But what if environmental conditions were different where they grew three or four rings? So you see, your whole argument that the Earth is older based upon tree rings is based upon the ideological filter of uniformitarianism. And oops, guess what?
Well,
Any
also
reference
presupposes that God made trees with no rings.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All the
The
trees were
bottom
saplings when God made them.
No,
that's
no. God
that's
created a
correct.
mature earth with mature plants and
Right.
animals.
And that's another point that I didn't mention. Thank you for presenting it. Now, so he didn't even realize that he was deploying uniformitarianism as an ideological filter in order to come up that the tree rings do that. Now, let's unmute him. Now that I've debunked your appeal to tree rings, because you have to appeal to uniformitarianism in order to come up with that conclusion, but you can't empirically demonstrate uniformitarianism, okay, because it's an untestable assumption. You have to have a time machine. Now, can you tell me what other means you can use scientifically to date the age of the Earth? And by the way, I'm setting another trap for you.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with this same example. There's a tree called Old Tajiko that's the 9,550-year-old Norway spruce located in the mountain of Dalarna province in Sweden. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still alive today, so we can study
Listen to me carefully.
how many.
You're ignoring. No, I'm not going to hold on
finish.
because you're dishonest.
Oh,
No.
okay. So you don't.
Are you using uniformitarianism to come up with that age?
No, I mean, I'm just using the fact that we know how
Okay.
fast it grows right now.
No.
We can
Okay. What
speculate
you're
based on
doing
how
right
fast
now.
it grows back then.
What you're doing right now. You know what? You're really pissing me off because you're being dishonest. And you're pretending like you're giving.
Darth,
Please do not. Okay, you're going to get
that
muted. You're going to get muted. You're going to get muted. Okay, listen carefully. In order to count the rings, you have to assume via uniformitarianism that tree rings grow at the same rate or nearly the same rate overall than they did in the past. Is it a fact that tree rings grew at relatively the same rate in the past as they do now?
Well, I mean, the thickness in between each ring will
Answer
vary, but
the question.
in
Answer
terms
the
of the number of
question.
tree rings, that will
Answer
remain
the
relatively
okay. Mute
constant.
him.
Yes,
Mute him.
I
We're
answered your
done.
question.
He is incapable. You see, this is the problem. Isn't their brainwashing? The problem is that they're willing to bullshit, balderdash, and lie. Okay. I asked him a direct question. Did he directly answer the question, or did he pretend to answer the question and just filibuster? Does he know for a fact what the rate of tree ring growth was in the past? Does he know that?
He did answer it eventually, Darth.
No.
And what did he say?
He said that it would be the same in the past as it is now.
Okay, and how does he know that?
He didn't get to that.
He said
No,
the tree rings were the same size back then.
Right, but
That's
he
what
didn't answer it right at the last
no.
second.
The point is
the
this.
tree rings are universal in size.
Yeah. So what he no see what it is he was using uniformitarian assumptions, but he didn't know the label for the ideological filter that he was brainwashed into, called uniformitarianism. Okay? And when I pointed that out, he just simply ignored it and repeated the same crap all over again. And I want my fellow Christians to notice this, okay? When you confront unbelievers with very significant and credible defeaters for their position, they will pretend to debate against that, but they will ignore what you say, pretending to answer what you say, and then they'll just repeat the same thing all over again. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay? Neon
Back into the left,
is
back into the left. That's what he was
back
doing.
into life. So Neon, is radiometric isotope dating based upon circular reasoning? Yes or no?
Just give me just a second here.
Yeah, this is another trap I have for him. You see, he's blinded by his own pride. He thinks he knows more about the subject matter than he does. Neon, is radiometric isotope dating guilty of circular reasoning?
Depends on what you mean.
No, is radiometric isotope dating that is used to date rocks guilty of do you know what circular reasoning is?
Circular reasons that appeal to the other reasons, like begging the question.
No,
Like,
yeah.
it's windy because the wind is blowing and the wind is blowing.
Listen to me. Wow. You know what? Rather than have a conversation like an honest
Yeah,
adult,
I
you
answered your
just got to
question,
sit
dude.
there and blah blah blah. Okay, good. Now let me ask you this question: must
Rather
one
than have a conversation, you
assume?
decide to talk.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Your
Yeah.
laughing exposes the fact that this is just a cover up.
Darth, you
Okay?
really said to me,
Now
rather than having a
you know what? You're
conversation, you
gonna get
decide to
server
talk,
muted. You're gonna
which is
get
what has
server
to happen
muted.
in a
You're gonna
conversation.
get server muted. You see, this is what you
Right.
claim you're 24
You're
years old
grandstanding
and you
again.
act like it's okay. You know what? Mute this guy. Okay. You see, 24 years old and he's acting
Let him
like
fucking
a
speak for more
15-year-old.
than a second. You fucking
Okay.
suck.
Okay. No, he wants to accuse me of grandstanding, and that's precisely what he's doing. He's not really addressing what I'm saying. Okay. Now, appealing to the tree rings is only true if and only if uniformitarianism is true. But you would need a time machine to go back to know that's true. But there aren't any time machines, are they, McFly? Okay? Hello, McFly. There are not any time machines, are there? Okay? So he's been brainwashed into uniformitarianism. Now, when it comes to radiometric isotope dating, one must first presuppose that the Earth and its contents are eons old first in order to count backwards from a putative daughter element by the rate of half-life decay to the the parent element. You have to start off with an a priori non-scientific assumption that the Earth was in fact not created 6,000 to 7,000 years ago, because if it is possible that it was, then counting backwards from the daughter element isotope based upon the half-life rate of decay to the parent element on the periodic table, counting backwards would be incorrect. So they start off with an unprovable assumption that the Earth is eons old first, and because it's eons old first, then we can count backwards based upon the half-life decay. But that's circular reasoning. Oops. You see how they're blinded by pride and their brainwashing? We know the Earth is old. We know creationism is false. Wait a minute. So what's interesting is this. I thought creationism was unfalsifiable. Did you know that the American Academy of Sciences wrote a paper against creationism and intelligent design? And in the paper, they said that creationism was not falsifiable. But then several paragraphs down, they started detailing certain things in science that falsified creationism. This is a paper published by the American Academy of Sciences. You can't make this stuff up. And by the way, he says that creationism is false. Well, wait a minute. Let's unmute him for a second. I have a quick question for him. This is gonna be another trap for him. Okay. Hey, Neon, are all conclusions in science provisional?
What do you mean by provisional?
You don't? Do you understand? Do you have a basic working education in science? Do you have a basic
So
working knowledge
you're
of science?
grandstanding by not answering that question.
Okay. No,
What do you
you're
mean
grandstanding. You are grandstanding by accusing me of grandstanding. I asked you a question. You understand science, and you don't understand what it means when somebody says, "Are all conclusions in science?" Do you know
I'm
what the
just gonna
word
look it up
provision?
because you don't
Do you
know.
know what the
Hold
word
on.
provisional means?
That's
Do
why
you
I'm
know what the
asking
word
you, Darth.
provisional means? Do you know
Arranged
what the
or
word
existing for
provisional
the
means?
present,
Do
possibly
you
to be
know what
changed
the word
later.
provisional means?
Arranged or existing for the present, possibly to be changed later. Yeah, sure. I
That's
could
right.
say that scientific conclusions are provisional.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
sure.
I'm asking you. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Are all okay? Are
Yes.
scientific
Yes.
statements are
Yes.
they? Okay.
Yes.
You know what? Your parents raised a real asshole. You know that?
I don't care. What? Okay,
Yeah,
what does that have
yeah,
to do
yeah,
with the
yeah.
answer?
You know what? You know what?
That's
If
an
one of my
ad
kids
hominem,
behaved like
sir.
you, no, it's not an ad hominem. No, it's an insult. Learn the difference between an ad hominem and an insult,
Ad
moron.
hominem.
It's not an ad hominem. What is an ad hominem?
An ad hominem is an insult. I'm just kidding. It's not an insult.
No,
It's an
Yeah, what's an ad hominem?
it's when you say that some irrelevant characteristic of the opponent makes them wrong, like saying that you can't
Okay.
trust saying that you
Did
can't
I
trust
say you were
that
wrong?
person to.
A smartass. Did I
No,
say you
I
were
mean you
wrong
have
because
said
you're an
that I'm
ass?
wrong. You haven't said
Did
I'm
I
wrong
said you were
because
wrong
I'm.
because you were an ass? Did I
No,
say you were wrong because you're an
you
ass?
didn't say I'm wrong because I'm an
So there
asshole. I
was
just
no
wanted
ad
to be
hominem,
sure.
was there? Are you
Wait,
going
wait.
to
So
apologize to me?
I
Are you going to
understand.
apologize to me? Are you going to
I'm so
apologize
sorry,
to
Darth.
me for falsely
I'm sorry
accusing me
for
of an
being
ad hominem?
facetious.
Okay, okay. No, you
I'm
know what?
sorry for being
Goodbye. You're done.
facetious.
Mute him. Mute him. We're done.
You're so
We're done
fat.
with that ass. We're done. You're an asshole.
What a
You're a
clown,
complete
man.
arrogant asshole. You're a complete asshole. Do you know that I do and can have civil interactions with people on a daily basis, even people I vigorously disagree with, because they're not assholes like you are. Okay? But you know what? Being the fact that I'm one of the older people here on Discord, okay? I don't put up with your youthful shit, your assholery, and I'm going to call you out on it. And it's not grandstanding. You're the one who's grandstanding. You're a despicable person, right?
I mean, he
Now,
has been trolling pretty much all evening, really.
to
I
this,
mean, he's
okay?
not been answering your
Okay,
questions on
I'll just
purpose.
I'll just put the nail in the coffin, okay? This is the nail in the coffin. You ready for this? Right? Did he not assert that all conclusions in science are provisional? Can I get some feedback? Did he not agree with that?
Yep.
I mean, he definitely did say that, yeah. I mean, if
Okay,
somebody else is here, I mean, I just
right. Yeah,
got other
he
people's
definitely agreed
opinions.
to it. Now. So when you hold up a provisional conclusion as a defeater for something else, then it doesn't act as a defeater for something else unless the person that you're presenting to accepts the provisional conclusion. Because the provisional conclusion isn't necessarily true. So he's taking a provisional idea and saying, well, I'm accepting it as true, but it could turn out not to be true tomorrow or the next day. But this provisional conclusion falsifies young earth creationism. Does everybody see the monumental problem there? He's saying that something that isn't necessarily true and could turn out to be false tomorrow falsifies creationism. No, it doesn't. The only way for that to be substantive is the person you're speaking to has to accept the provisional statement as true. So all you're just simply saying is, I hold to this provisional truth, okay, that the earth is old, but it could turn out to be false tomorrow. Okay. Right? Now, how about this? Unmute him for a second. Let's see if he can't be an asshole for 1 minute and answer one simple question. Okay? Neon, is it impossible for Jesus Christ to return tomorrow, next week, next month, or next year? Is that impossible?
No, but that doesn't prove a young
Okay,
Earth.
stop right there. Why don't you calm down? Okay, guess what? If Jesus Christ were to return tomorrow, the next week, next month, next year, whatever, okay, that would validate creationism, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily. No.
No, necessarily, because Jesus said in Matthew 19 to the religious leaders, he said, he referred to Adam and Eve being made in the beginning by God. He was specifically referring to the Genesis account of creation. Now, if that same Jesus returns in your lifetime, would that validate young Earth creationism?
No, and I can explain why too.
No. Okay, stop right there. You are such a dishonest person. It makes me want to vomit. Okay. The fact of the matter is, Jesus said, okay, that Adam and Eve were made in the beginning. Okay. What was he referring to? He's referring to in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and then it lists that the creation was made in 6 days. And the language there, semantics, is there was an evening and a morning, a first day, evening and morning, a second day. Whenever the Bible uses the word day with evening and morning and an ordinal, it always refers to a 24-hour period of time. Now, the fact of the matter is this, okay? Do you know who T.H. Huxley was? No? You're not going to answer?
Wait, what?
Do you know who T.H. Huxley was?
No, we're not really having a conversation though, are we?
Okay, T.H. Huxley. No, actually, I'm educating you. Okay,
Yeah, this is
because
not a conversation we're having.
I'm
It's
educating
pretty
you.
pathetic that you have to
Now,
operate
now,
this way, I gotta say.
T.H. Huxley
Right.
was Darwin's. He was a preeminent anatomist and physiologist. 19th century. He was very famous. He was very smart, and he was Darwin's bulldog. Okay, and guess what? He knew the Bible, and he believed in an old world, and he believed emphatically in evolution. And he said, if you interpret, and this is somebody who's of your kind, okay? And he said, knowing the Bible, he said, if you read the Bible consistently, you cannot believe in an old earth. It is impossible. Okay?
Well, yeah, if you read the
Now,
Bible and take it literally,
you're
sure.
not understanding. Okay? The
That's a
Bible is very
that's a
clear.
very
Listen,
simple claim to
okay,
make.
but
It's very
what I'm saying to
short.
you is this. If Jesus Christ would return tomorrow, this
Yeah.
will validate creationism. Okay? Now, it would validate creationism. And what I'm pointing out is one of your own, the man who was probably one of the most important people in history besides Darwin for getting the widespread acceptance of the theory of evolution was T.H. Huxley. Okay? And he knew the Bible. Now, if Jesus Christ were to return tomorrow or next year, okay, that would validate creationism. Okay? But you told
I don't
me
necessarily think that's true, and I can explain why,
Oh
but
my
no,
I
gosh.
don't want
Yes,
no,
it would. He would
no. Okay,
validate
I'm
that
trying to
Jesus is the
explain.
truth and he
okay.
spoke the truth. If he's able to return to the earth and prove that he speaks the
Yeah.
truth because he is the
If.
truth, then
That's a
whatever he
big if
said is
right there,
true.
though.
Therefore, the
Listen. Let,
creation
let me
account
let
is
me
true.
let
Oh
let me
gosh, you're
explain
dense.
something to you.
All
Let
right.
me explain
The
something to
But you're
you.
kind of
hero
There is
has
no
interrupting my
way.
returned.
words because Jesus.
Okay, please mute the hecklers. Okay, what you're doing is you are continuing to be dishonest here. Okay, people who attempt to amalgamate a biblical model of creation and old earthism and evolution are pissing on the Bible. They are conforming the plain and clear language of the Bible to a consensus that the earth is old and that evolution is true. Now, the fact of the matter is,
Grandstanding.
this is no, it's not grandstanding. The fact of the
It
matter is,
is.
if Jesus Christ were to return tomorrow, okay,
Yes.
that would
Then
validate
yeah.
creationism.
But
Okay,
he hasn't. But he hasn't.
no,
So it's
okay,
not
you're
validated.
okay. Can you stop being an asshole for one
Can
second?
you actually prove the Earth is
Okay,
6,000
goodbye.
years
Okay,
old?
good. Yeah, I can. Okay, all I need is to have a perfect eyewitness testimony that the earth is young rather than old. God has given that testimony. Jesus gave it when he said Adam and Eve were made in the beginning. Okay? Now, Here's a problem. Here's a
also
problem for you. Here's a problem for you. Okay, the Bible makes it very clear that there was a judgment after the fall of man. Death was implemented, and other things like suffering and disease and other environmental conditions occurred after the fall of man by the judgment of God. Okay? Now, if you say that one could interpret that the earth is old alongside the Bible, are you saying that that is a legitimate interpretation?
I've got to mute him quickly, sorry.
Are you saying that that's a legitimate interpretation?
A legitimate interpretation of the Bible? What do you mean?
Is it a legitimate interpretation for people who are Christians, who believe the Bible is the Word of God, but that the Bible is written in such a way that it will allow for the earth to be eons old rather than young? Is that legitimate?
I think that Christians can believe in evolution,
Okay.
if they don't take a literalist stance on.
Okay, stop right there. Well, here's the problem. Okay. The Bible says that God, as a part of his temporal judgment, introduced thorns and thistles after the creation. Okay? Now, that happened after Adam and Eve were here. How is it then that thorns and thistles appeared in fossils?
And thorns. So you're saying that that after the fall of man?
Yeah. Hey, Mister,
Hold on.
I'm
Wait, no,
so smart. Answer the question.
I just want to clarify. Right. So you're saying that after the fall of man, then God made plants to have thorns and thistles, and you're asking how could it be possible that
Okay.
that thorns and thistles are found in fossils?
I'm
trying to clarify your question.
Are there thorns on plants in the fossil record?
I would assume so. Yeah.
That's right. The Bible is very clear that after the fall of man, the Bible is emphatic as to the historicity of Adam and Eve. Do you want to dispute that?
I'm not to do with the point though. Like you're still having to prove a
No. You see, now you're deflecting and dodging because you don't know what to say. I said, is the Bible? You see, you can't stop being an asshole, can you? You can't stop being an asshole. Do you know that there are people that I have conversations with all the time where I don't have a problem with? Because you know what? They're not being an asshole. You're being an asshole right now, and you won't stop. You know what's worse than you being an asshole is that you're totally shameless about being an asshole. That's worse than you being an asshole. You have no shame. Okay.
Right, so I would like evidence that you have a civil conversation with people who
okay, you know what? I have given you so many chances. I've given you so many chances, and you just won't stop being an asshole. Goodbye. Mute him. Do not unmute him at all from here on out. I would love to meet his parents. I would love to meet.
I don't know if I would. I've
I can just imagine, asking them, what did you do to this child to make him turn out this way, where he has no impulse control whatsoever? The reason why I get into a tirade on people is not because I don't like what I'm hearing. It's because of their behavior, and they all of a sudden they launch off into a community college lecture, crap that I've heard hundreds of times before, and they're not informing me, and I don't want them to waste my time. I want to talk about specifics, right? Where do they grow human beings like this? Does anyone believe he's 24? Can you imagine having that piece of garbage as an employee?
Thank you, Tom Rabbit.